This evening, I have been spending some time at home recording vocals. And while I was doing so, I came up with 5 quick tips that I would recommend to anyone else recording vocals, whether you're at home, whether you're in a studio, or whether you're recording alone or with an engineer. Doesn't matter. I think you will find these 5 things really useful. One of the things I cannot live without now is adding loads and loads of compression to my monitor mix when I am singing, because obviously it just kind of like squashes everything in a good way. So if I'm singing at a really low volume, it'll bring it up in my ears and I'll hear everything clearly so I can stay in tune. And then all the sort of loud waily bits will be brought down in volume. They'll be squashed, but it's only on the monitor mix. Obviously, it's not going through outboard gear or anything like that where it will actually affect the main vocal. So providing it's not too hot, then you won't have any problems in the actual interface. But I don't know whether this will make a difference, because this is kind of my monitor mix, but this is what I'm hearing when I'm singing. So imagine you singing. Lonely. Ooh, are you trying to be human? Abandoned us. That's with the compression. If I take the compression off, you'll see what difference it does to the volume. You can't hear it. So compression really, really helps in your Inear mix. Carpet, very, very useful. This room is not acoustically treated. If you have hardwood floors, then buy a rug. If you're just recording somewhere temporarily, then you could put a duvet on the floor. I've done that before. It's really handy. Just get in as many sofa cushions as you possibly can, and just try and help the room out. I do have a blackout blind and I do have curtains, which helps a minute amount. Like you can hear the road noise outside probably through this. Then in terms of mic placement, I am sitting down during this vocal session just because I've hurt my back recently. I would usually be standing upright and straight. But yeah, I've just put this little duvet over 2 really old lighting stands, and I promise it is making a difference. I've got some clean takes coming in over there. Try and leave a clean gap when you are starting a word of a verse, chorus. Maybe it's just after the introduction has happened. Leave a clean gap where there isn't a breath. I often find vocal takes slightly ruined by a rushed breath that just means there isn't any support on the first word, and it kind of just ruins it and ruins the whole vibe, ruins the performance. And this is something you should do when you're performing anyway. You wouldn't just start singing after a little rushed breath. Hopefully you'd be breathing slowly, deeply, having silence before coming out with your first word. So if I give an example, which I won't be able to do now, out across the water, out across the water, out across the water, out across the water. Something like that. It sounds terrible. So instead, what I would do is not have my hand up like that. Instead, breathe really deeply, slowly, leave some silence. Out across the water, out across the water. Like that. There's already so much space for an edit to happen if need be, in between verses and choruses, whatever, whether you're just comping your takes. Yeah. Breathe properly, slowly, no rush breaths. It's so pronounced down a microphone and sounds terrible. You will have seen me wear these fancy schmancy in-ear monitors from Ultima Ears. These are custom molded to my ears, funnily enough, and they're just exquisite. They're really high performing. However, you don't need these exact ones to just see the benefits when you're recording vocals. As opposed to cans, cans are great, cool, they're fine. They're really quick and easy to put on and off. These take a little bit more time. But the click bleed or the track bleed, it can ruin takes. And when you're at home, you're just trying to minimize all the things that will make it sound like a home recording. And getting in-ear monitors, which you can get for like $99. I'll mention them. Shure 215s. They're great. They're incredible. For the price point, they're amazing. These are super duper just fancy. These are for touring for me. These are going to last for years. And also they're glittery, which is great. But I live in them. I live in in-ear monitors. I use them even when I'm like editing videos or just working on the computer. Like, I love them so, so much. And I've said it before, they stop my, I don't know, they make me feel far more comfortable than cans. These make my face warm. And I don't know whether anyone else has experienced this, but they make me really like uncomfortable and too hot. And I've just found in-ear monitors to be a saving grace in the studio. And when you're doing these long days, any saving of energy or anything you can do, it just really helps. These can also be at a lower volume. Because they're so in your ear, you don't have to have them cranked so high. So your ears will be less tired. There we go. There's my PSA on in-ear monitors. Fifth and final tip, kind of corresponds with the number 5, is that I personally never do more than 5 full takes if I possibly can, especially when I'm at home and have unlimited time. When you're in the studio and you're on a time limit, then yeah, you're probably going to have to do a few more just to get as many as you possibly can in the time allowance. But when you're at home and you maybe have a few days to get something done, try not to over sing. I always think 5 takes is a good way for you to prepare and warm up during the first 2. Then usually the golden moments are in the 3rd and 4th. And then by the 5th, I'm usually tired or getting a bit lazy. So try not to tire yourself out and exhaust your voice. And that's the luxury when you're at home and you just have a little microphone and a quiet space. You have way more time and less pressure to really, really get those emotions out and get that vocal take perfect. There we go. 5 quick tips. If you have any more, obviously write them in the comments below. I hope you found them useful. If you haven't already, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Check out my online course site, my website, my merch, my Patreon. Yeah, otherwise, I'll see you very soon.